We're talking about the Shifting Earth.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Night Rain Shifting Earth events. We have
The 4 variations to the main map. You have the crater, the mountaintop, the rotted woods, fuck the rotted woods, and Naklateo, the shrouded city.
Yeah.
The first one everybody usually comes across is the crater, which for
I
me,
love the crater.
I second this, and especially in dealing with enemies that have fire weakness, like the night bosses that have fire weakness, the end reward of that is fantastic because it doesn't matter what piece of trash you bring down there, you can turn it into a legendary piece of trash that has fire on it. So I mean,
Well, and it's so many times when you're doing like side quest things or you're doing like remembrance, like you have to bolt so far out of your way to do something to get like one thing done. The creator, you pretty much have to commit. Like if the best time to do it, in my opinion, is definitely day 2 and like right from the start, so you have enough time to get down there.
yeah,
But it doesn't waste your day. There is so much value the whole way down that you're getting your levels, you're getting the experience, you're getting lots of boss fights for boss stones. A lot of times the magma worm down there will drop a legendary weapon. Not always, but a lot of times he will. And then you can turn one of your other things into a legendary. So you're getting multiple legendary weapons a lot of times out of going that route. And then you just hit the bird thing and fly back to where you were going. And there's just so much value in doing it if you can.
the main route of getting out of the crater, once you finally made it the whole way down, you beat the magma worm and you upgrade your shit, the hawk will take you right to one of the demi-human queens, which is another cash grab that you can do on your way, as well as the church that's there.
Mm-hmm.
The crater, you have to commit to it
But it
because
lines
your
you
day
up.
2 is the crater.
Correct.
But
Yeah.
the rewards that you get are worth it. Now, navigating that is a mess because the amount of times that I've been successful is roughly the exact same amount of times where I've gotten halfway lost, fell in the lava, died, and hated my life.
That is a thing, actually. Depending on where you die in your travels, it is definitely like a high risk, high reward type situation.
Yeah. Like the boss that you have to deal with like halfway through, which is like fire prelates and some fire monks, isn't that big of a deal. And especially on day 2, if you go down there, you're usually able to smack them and take them out. And on the way down there, you also have, fire chariots and hands, which if you're going through the crater, you probably have a fire weapon or you're looking for a fire weapon. And guess what hands hate? So
And I will say this may seem obvious, but I'm going to say it. Because someone's going, you guys said Crater was so worth it. It fucking sucks. No. Let me be very clear here. You do not, I'll say this again, do not attempt this on day 1.
No, absolutely not.
Do not try to do this on day 1. What do you say there isn't? No. You must be ready for it. It has to be a day 2 thing. You have to be level 8+ to go down there and not just hate your life.
Yeah, not only that, but you have to have a pretty decent day 1. Because like level 8 is ideal. Higher than that, once you're heading down there, is fantastic. But you kind of speedball it because there is a bunch of shit that you can look around and find there. Like, what is it? The gargoyles. The gargoyles exist there. There's a full-grown falling star beast there, but unfortunately, they're not really viable targets. Yeah, they're sponges. So you sit there and beat shit out of them. You don't have the opportunity to move that fast.
Yeah, and you can beat up the monks, and then the prelate bosses. There's one that you have to kill. There's one that you don't. If you have the time, kill them both because they're boss drops. If you're good at the hop timing, there's a whole hallway of just fire chariots that you can literally just doing, and just get those real quick.
There's like 5 of them.
Yeah. So if you're good at getting, so if you're good at getting the auto kill there, do that because it's literally a hallway of free money if you can just pop off the chariots. Right after the hallway where you do the chariots, go to the right, kill the last chariot, then you immediately go left, and down that hallway there's like a grace eventually, but there's a scarab in that hallway. Like there's just again more shit. There's so much shit there.
It's funny. One of the first experiences I had with the crater was getting stuck up top, not knowing where to go, and I was like, "Oh, is that what the?" I forgot. It's just funny because I'm like, "Hey,
I wasn't in that lobby, but I definitely watched it happen, and I'm so sorry."
Help! I'm a reaver with no magic, and I don't know what I'm doing. Hey, they're beating my ass.
Exactly, and then halfway through the run, they're getting ready to walk into the fire prelate, and you just see you on the outside of the map.
I'm here.
I made it.
Yay!
My spine.
The thing is, like, once I actually learned it, this is like a lot of the shifting earth things that I really didn't like any of them until I started finally understanding them. And I am very biased about a few of them that I don't understand, but the crater, I understand. I like it. I like a free upgrade. I like going there with my little weapon going, "Dee, dee, beep, beep, fix it, please." And
Yes.
I enjoy that because it adds a little bit more choice. It's like, I like this weapon.
Yeah, you don't have to go and get a myriad of smithing stones to be able to upgrade it. You just, whatever it is, stick it on the altar. It is now imbued with fire and glowing orange. It's fantastic.
Correct.
Now, when you're dealing with the bug or you're dealing with the dragon, to be able to deal with both of those, yeah, the dragon, because
Mr.
both of them are
Dragon.
incredibly vulnerable to fire. So
Correct.
just having, the best tier of weapon with fire imbued onto it just gets the fucking job done.
I'll say, I guess the last thing for me is that it is a little hard to navigate terrain, like with the jumps. Even though they improved the jumping in
Yes.
the recent update, thank God, it is still a bit of a pain because it feels like you have to stop and then jump. Because if you jump into it, you won't make it, and it's just like, it's like roll up to it, jump, boom.
Yeah, some of them get tricky, and it's very easy to just get dumped into lava, turn crispy, and fuck the entire thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, truthfully, I've gone through the mountain and have done the thing like once, but mountain feels more like a last stop to be able to get more runes right before you hit the boss. It's not that necessarily that it's not profitable, but usually if I have scaling the mountain and I'm looking at the castle full of crucible knights, I will always pick the castle every time.
Well, because it kind of on the same point I just made, because you're gonna go that way to get to the final boss anyway.
Hmm.
So do the castle because you can't always do that. Get all the runes that you can from that. And then, time to head towards the boss, the final boss. So we start climbing the mountain. Oh, look, there's a bunch of snow trolls. Oh, cool, killed them. Got a boss drop. Hey, look, there's a dragon fighting a troll. Let's kill that. More stuff. And you just kind of get it as you go up because
Hmm.
you're heading that way anyway.
Yeah. And I don't know, the mountain is good as far as value, but doing the mountain the correct way, which is, going all the way to the top, getting the boon, going fighting the dragon, is time consuming and can be done, but it's debatable whether completing it in that fashion is worth the
So
amount of runes that you can get doing something else.
what I have just now recently discovered is that the way to the very top to where the red marker is to fight that like special boss of the area is an entirely different path and is actually kind of a straight shot.
Oh, solid.
Like I had an extra stop because I was doing a remembrance thing, but that's not normally there. So there's literally a side path. You cross a chain, you run up the back of the mountain. There's the little Yoda guy.
Hmm.
He is not hard to deal with, and then you just run up that path, and you're at the top where the red marker is. So you can literally just go right there.
Yeah, if you have value that you can get on day 2 at the top of the map, that seems like a really solid trajectory to take.
Curious because it's marked specifically. It has a red mark on your map from the very start when you land. I have never killed that boss, so I don't know what kind of rewards you get from it. I would be very curious to know what you get out of completing that since it's actually marked on the map.
For the reward?
Yeah, because the mountain has a red marker like the Rot Forest does,
Yes.
and it's a big frozen dragon.
Yeah, so it's
So I'm just curious what kind of stuff you would get from killing it.
from the dragon, I would imagine that it's probably a guaranteed legendary or
I would think
something particularly of high value.
Yeah, I would think so. I've never done it. So I'm curious what it is. Because, like the Rot Forest has a marker specifically so you can get the thing to not just die to rot. So I'm curious why there is a boss, that specific boss is marked on the map at the top of the mountain.
Because well the flag you get is you get a buff behind it that will increase your frostbite resistance and give you dragon wound
Oh, okay.
for everything, and then you go back and murder the dragon, and then that's where you get your cash in.
So you get the buff and a guaranteed legendary.
Yeah.
Which
That's
honestly,
kinda
that'd be
dumb.
really good for fighting the frost dragon, actually. Because then,
Yeah.
But the Frost Dragon is the thing at the top, though.
No. We're talking about Caligo, boss number 7, the Night Lord, because he is also made entirely of icicles and will fucking end you.
See, and here's the thing: if it's a guaranteed legend drop, I'm like kind of like, "Hey boys, what are we doing next run?" Because I'm not kidding. Like I know I keep saying this, but it is absurd. Like it is the crater cut in a tenth. How easy it is to get to that.
the little boss fight with the dragon fighting the giant, I almost always have the option of deal more damage to dragons when I kill those guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's try that.
Well, not only that, but the targeting the dragon between those two is most beneficial because Giant's not going to survive, and you want to get as much value out of him beating the piss out of that dragon as possible.
Correct. I haven't fully explored the terrain, so I can't say this with absolute certainty. But the only thing I would say about that, as far as doing them in that order, is like I said, the path to the top where the ice dragon is a different path than the normal way up where you find the dragon fighting the trolls.
Apparently, there's a way to be able to, like, if you're running straight up from the south, you can just run past it and then go get the buff. But
I did, because the last time I did it, I died. And where it spawned me was kind of on the normal path we go, and I was able to find my way back over to that side path. So it might be possible to run up there, kill the dragon between the trolls, get the dragon damage buff, and then hop over to the side path to get up to Ice Dragon.
Shit, since we're on the Frost Dragon or the Frost mountaintop area, do you guys enjoy the mountaintop stuff? Because so far, it's for me, it's been kind of meh. It's okay. It's never been like, I don't know, maybe killing the dragon at the top with the armament will change my mind, but so far it's been okay.
I was gonna say that's that. I'm like kind of like, ooh, I think I might really like the mountain.
So, like, there's a lot of different shit that you can get up there. When you're walking your way up from the south, there is an encampment that spawns with a knight that will give you a drop. There is the twin giants on the eastern side. Down the middle, there is the dragon fighting a giant. You said there's an Erd Tree avatar in the top right hand corner?
That is because that's specifically for my remembrance quest. That's not normally there.
Oh.
Normally that path, all I saw was Yoda, the little like the magic sword master guy.
Oh, that's the one I'm seeing then. Yeah.
He's
the
there.
Sword master.
Yeah, he's the one that's on the side there. And then the next thing after him was the ice dragon.
Yeah, okay.
Because I walked up there, I'm like, oh, I think I made it to the top. And he literally spawned the ice storm as I got to the top. So I was like, oh, neat. Oh. Like I was literally murdered on the spot. And I was like,
damn it.
Oh. Next time we go up there, you're just going to see my frozen corpse up there. It was just a little hand wave.
I know we've mentioned a couple times about the rotted woods.
Oh god, yeah.
I have things to say.
Fucking hate this place. Now, my detestability. Okay.
Real quick, I just want to one closing remark about the mountain. Before we explore this frost dragon thing that might change our minds, the one thing I'd say about when we land and I see it's the mountain map, honestly, it is the most least impactful one to me because other than the mountain at the end of the run, it's exactly the same map as the normal one.
I get that. There's no dragging imperative to have to go there.
No, none whatsoever.
It's kind of nice. He's like, you can choose to go there.
Unlike the rotted woods, which, if this spawns in the map, you have zero choice but to interact with it, at least on day 2, because if you do not go down there and wait until the end of day 2, you suffer constant rot. Unstoppable, constant rot. And going in there my first time and trying to get down to the boss so that way I can fight it, realizing it's in the swamp, and realizing that I'm just going to continuously suffer scarlet rot while I'm trying to deal with a magma worm is not good feels. This is the only Shifting Earth event where you are basically strong-armed into participating in its entirety. So you have to run down. You have to either A, get lucky enough to find the perk that you get from going through there that makes you immune to scarlet rot and basically gives you Bloodborne system of regaining your health. But there's also all of the bosses down there are shit.
Yeah,
they really are.
Every horseback boss is there. Blackblade Kindred, Loretta, both tree sentinels. This is balls.
Yeah, and the bell-bearing hunter.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
There is like you look at it, okay, there's a lot of bosses in there, so you can get lots of runes. Yeah, but every single one of them takes forever.
Yes, my god.
And while you're slowly cooking and rot.
Let me ask you this: what the fuck is the Bloodborne healing thing? Because I see that the reward is Favor of the Forest, nullifies Scarlet Rot, and increases max HP. Attacks after receiving damage partially recover HP.
So,
what the fuck does that even mean?
I actually have an artifact on my executor that does that already. But what it does is when you get hit, you know how you have like your red health bar? It doesn't turn black right away. There's like a gray
the little pink. For me, it's like pink.
Yeah. While that's still there, if you start hitting things, you can regain that health.
Oh shit!
But
That's
if you
good.
but if you let it drain, then that health is gone.
Or you get hit again.
Right. Or if you get hit again, then you'd have to take a pot like normal. Once your health bar is black, then it means you've lost that health entirely. But while there's that pink grayish, oh, you just got hit, you have the opportunity to start hitting things to gain that health back.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really
and that's
good.
just how. Yeah, and that's just in Bloodborne. That's just a mechanic. That's just how you get health back in Bloodborne.
That being said, that is not enough saving grace for me to give this area any sort of positive light.
The only thing, and this is let me be clear here. This is not a positive. This is just kind of this is funny. Is my main is definitely Executor, and for me, I forget about it a lot of times because it does not come up very often like other characters' passives. The Executor has a passive that he gets a physical damage buff while recovering from ailments. So when I went in there with the Executor, like, oh, let's try this out. I got Scarlet Rot, and suddenly I was hitting things like a bus. And I was like, oh, this is really kind of neat. So I am coughing and spewing my own blood, but at the same time, I am going to fucking hit you.
You were going to hurt as much as I am right now.
Right. You will share in my pain. So if you're playing Executor, the Scarlet Rot Force is kind of a double-edged sword where you are taking damage because of Scarlet Rot, but you are also getting a significant damage increase because you're sick.
Is it from recovering from being sick or being actively sick?
Recovering. So basically once the status triggers and you see Scarlet Rot and it starts doing that like tick down.
Yeah.
Because once the bar goes away, you're cured. While you're ticking down to be cured, you get the buff.
Oh. That's good to know.
Yeah, and that works for all of them. Like if you have frostbite or if you have if you're poisoned, while you're recovering, like while that bar is draining to make you okay again, you have that buff.
What about Deathblight?
Well, if you have Deathblight, you're dead.
Good luck swinging your sword while you were in fact a tree.
It's just a tree with a sword attached to one of the limbs just swinging around.
Let me say my piece on Scarlet Rot.
So, I know we have conflicting opinions.
I think it has the most potential for the most ruins, and it's really fucking annoying though. The whole place is built to be like piss you off, in my opinion. And
yes.
I agree with you that it fucking sucks. However, when you do beat it, you come out so fucking strong, dude. You have a great buff. If you do go through and like start mulching all the bosses, bruh, that the Night Rain boss ain't gonna have nothing on you. You're gonna be swole. And it's like, what the hell happened to you? He's like, trauma happened. And I coped.
I survived cancer. I am ready to go.
Exactly.
I have become cancer, destroyer of worlds.
It's rough, but it rewards you at least. But you have to do it. Like you said, like you don't have a choice. It's like, you're doing this or you're going to suffer.
If you're doing if you're not just popping in there to kill one or two of the bosses right before the final boss fight.
Yeah.
If you're committing to doing the whole Rot Forest, then yeah, you absolutely have to go get the buff.
Well, honestly, I would say you have to get the buff every time because no matter what,
I do not.
Well, it's like you don't have to, but I'm saying like fighting the second night boss with Scarlet Rot is annoying.
It is agony.
I hate it.
But I am cheating and I like to be sick.
Oh, that's not fair.
Exactly. You're cheating. That's different. For literally any other character in the entire goddamn game, this is bad. They must make the trek. They must consume the anti-sick, or else they just hate life.
Standing at the day 2 boss, let's fucking go. I have not because of that. I should attempt to try this. I have never gotten the buff in the Rot Forest because of this.
Everybody else, Rot Force sucks. Executor cheats.
For the last one, I don't like this one. I don't like the city. The Shrouded City. No Clatio. The Shrouded City. Fuck that place. I don't understand it.
The Shrouded City is a time trap. There is value. There is value in there, but it is so spread out, and there's no like particularly strategic way to hit all of it. You have to keep backtracking. Yeah. Like, go down this hallway, go around this corner, go through all this. Okay, got all that. Now we got to go the whole way back to the starting point and then go down another path. And there's an entire underground sewer system to it. There is. And the only reason I know that is I had to figure that out to get to the Wilders one remembrance quest. And there's fucking Deathblight lizards down there. And it blows wieners.
Wait, are you talking about the little water thing in the middle, or like an actual like sewer system?
You
Like
drop.
tunnels?
There is a big ass hole. There's a giant well you can go down, or you can actually kind of like crawl through some wreckage and get down there. But there is a sewer system down there with like running water and
Ugh.
the death blight lizards with very narrow little corridors.
I hate this.
It's not great.
This is just, it's interesting because number one, I like how the place looks. It looks awesome. It's huge.
It does.
Yes.
And the boss is there, like with the exception of the fucking Revenant. But the other bosses there they don't feel like a time sink, with the exception of Estelle. Either you're going there to wipe out bosses and you're leaving, or you're going there at the beginning of day 2 and you're trying to make the gun for Estelle. I have never successfully gone there, gone through, beaten Estelle, and gotten out alive.
No, I have never beaten Estelle on top of other stuff.
Yeah, this is one that you can piecemeal it, and the bosses there like aren't terrible if you hover around the outer courtyard of things. But if you intend to make it through the city, you need to do that at the beginning of day 2. Like, you have no other option.
It's like you have to know the city inside and out, I feel like, to get some real value out of it. For me,
yeah,
I would agree.
It's just like going in there like just normal dude is like, hey, it's my first time in here. It's gonna suck. The first 5 times are gonna suck. You need to like watch a guide on where the hell to go. And it's just like, what the fuck?
I would agree with that. My first time in the city was not, and I fucking hate it here because if you don't know, and maybe you had said this about one of the other maps, Noble. This might be one that I enjoy more later once I know it better. But right now, it's just a pain in the ass.
Yes. If you are able to devote your entire second day to pillaging in there for several runs to be able to understand how the entire area is made up, because you have to. It's going to have to be several runs to be able to understand all the intricate pathways there, because it is a maze.
It is.
Which I feel like you guys are going to be the ones that are going to be like, oh, we figured it out. It's actually really awesome. And it's like,
we kind of do that.
I do feel like, because kind of like even going the pathway through the sewer to get to the one item, like I feel like there is a rhythm to it. Like I feel like it's kind of like a zigzag path. If you start and go to the left, you work your way down. There's one of the mini Estelles, the ghost one that shoots the meteors.
Yeah.
You kill that. You go through the little crack in the wall. You go in the sewer. The sewer, there's just a bunch of items, and I would say just avoid the blight lizards because fuck them. You eventually get to the well. You shot rocket up the well, pop out on one of the top paths, and kind of like work your way back that way, and then Z path your way up to Estelle from there. Like I feel like there is a method to it. I don't quite know it yet, but I can kind of see some connecting pathways that I feel like it's possible.
Well, as far as the city is concerned, if you manage to slog your way through all that shit and beat Estelle, you basically get a Wending Grace, which is the resurrection item that automatically brings you back if you're downed.
Oh,
which is very very nice.
Those are nice.
It's a more powerful version of that because it also gives you a buff on top of that. But
shit.
Yeah, I have never got it, so I don't know what the details of that is. But
I've never either, so I'm like, ooh, really?
But it depends. Like, especially in solo, it makes more sense to buy multiples of the Wending Grace as you're making your way through than it does to attempt the city and then get shit on by Estelle and lose everything. But yeah, that's my piece. We need to dig more into the city. The Rotted Woods is still butt cheeks, and you can't convince me otherwise. The mountaintops, again, is another one that requires some more exploration because, like, it's weird because it doesn't give you the imperative that you have to do this. So unlike literally every other area, it's like it's there. Do I go there or not? But yeah, now talking about it, we're definitely gonna have to dig into that. And the crater is great. The
crater's amazing. Love the crater.
Let's rank our favorite ones. All right, everyone at the same time. What's your favorite place? 1,
Crater.
2, 3. Crater.
Crater.
However, that went poorly.
However, depending on this mountain stuff, if it will give me the same type of buff and guaranteed legendary that the crater will do with like a third of the time, I might change my answer.
Yeah. It's going to depend on how obnoxious dealing with the ice dragon is.
Least favorite map for me is gonna be Shredded City for now.
Woods.
I would agree.
Woods.
Yeah. Yep.
Fuck the woods. Burn it all down.
See, you want to avoid it. And then Saba, you just want to embrace the rot, and then I'm like,
I do.
I just
want to do fucking snow angels in the rot pond and just yeah.
I feel so powerful.
Yes.
My skin is sloshing off, but it's beautiful.
How'd all this skin get on my body?
Thank you again for watching, guys. If your favorite Shifting Earth event was actually the Scarlet Rot Forest, you should leave a comment, because it'll piss off Motrax, and it'll be funny as shit.
I won't read them.
I will.
I'll probably give it a read. But if you say the crater is shit, you're just wrong and you should leave.
Exactly. You keep that one to yourself. The crater's perfect.
We yob the crater.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody.